99.1 Hawaii no Ka'oi. You got Lanai, Augie, and Tehani. We got Ray Johnson, and we also got Steven Sung hanging out with us in the studio. Steven just won the what is it called?
World Series of Poker.
World Series of Poker, $1.2 million at the Rio. Will that be televised on ESPN, or was it televised?
No, it's not going to be televised on ESPN, but it was televised on ESPN3.com.
Oh, okay,
So, yeah.
okay. How do they, how many tournaments are there in a year? Is there one every week? Is it?
I mean, tournament-wise, the tournaments that I play are the most, the prestigious, the
What's the
biggest buy-in tournaments that I play.
What are those called? Is it like a PGA? Is it like a?
Yeah, WSOP is one of them.
WSOP is for the summer, for June and July. That's the biggest. Was a series of tournaments a year. That's what all the poker players, they all attend from all over the world. But other tournaments there's a World Poker Tour that's mostly in the U.S. Max Champ.
There you go. All right.
Come on. I couldn't get the number straight. I couldn't see the whole sash. Did they give you that sash when you win? What did the crown?
No. I found out that Ray bought it as a gift. The crown is at home, bro. The crown is a pretty amazing thing.
What else do you win with? And besides, you get. I'm sure you got more people as far as investors coming out. I mean,
you know what I did was I kept it very low key after this win, because I was up, at the upper echelon of the poker world for quite some time before I fell from grace from all the drugs and stuff. But so yeah, now I feel like a veteran, even though I'm still young at 28 years old. So yeah, I'm just taking it slow as we go, because there's much more bigger things that are gonna happen from this. So,
you worried about a relapse, or Ray's not around? He's in Brazil for 3 weeks. There's some crazy guy, with like this big machine coming in. Steve, try this thing out.
No, man, not anymore, because Ray's been teaching me, we're all gonna die, so might as well go out swinging, right?
So, no,
what's your thing on the poker table? Some guys they wear the hood, some guys get Walkman. Are they listening to anything on the Walkman, or is it just all for a show?
What I used to do is I just listened to a lot of music. I just blasted it nonstop, because maybe it was a lot of the negativity, a lot of my thoughts that was going on before.
Right.
I didn't want to hear anyone talk. It was just really pissing me off as I played, and now it's getting better. I used to wear the hoodie, sunglasses, just block everybody out and just play poker.
How's the Unibomber, bro?
Exactly.
I can get you an eyewear sponsor.
I got one right here.
Oh, you got one already?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, we don't have a sponsor for that, but if you guys go and Google Steve Sung, you'll see. I mean, all the articles about him, his winnings, all of it is public, and you should see the different costumes, or if you will, that he wears, the different hat shades and stuff like that. And that's part of the strategy, so you don't show people the eyes. It's all about getting the read on the opponent.
Right.
But the work that I've been doing with him, is after he won, I was there obviously with him, and we're celebrating, we're happy, excited. And this is what we planned for, this is what we trained for. Yeah, this wasn't luck. We prepared hard for this stuff.
Yeah.
And after the win, he's normally used to throwing big parties. These guys throw money around like it's nothing. It's all about, But
let me guess. Wait, hold on. These guys are in Oxtail Soup, California. It's like Steve. Oxtail Soup.
Let me show you how we do it in the islands.
I was gonna say one drink spearmint rhino, but okay, yeah, you and I'm
not even that, bro. How you like that? Not even that. Actually, what we did, we just reflected on the journey, bro, and how far we came, and this is what we worked for. It's here now, and they gave you this bracelet.
Right.
And this guy, in honor of the work that we did together, he gave that bracelet to me. So I have the coveted bracelet now in my possession. He's a real generous guy, and it's been a pleasure to work with him, because he's a good guy that just got steered wrong. And that happens to a lot of us in life. The guy's young, he's only 28. But the fact that we can get him back on track now, I want him to be like a role model for the poker world, because the poker world is known as shady, dark, dirty, all kinds of stuff that goes on. What we really trying to do is try to bring it to a higher level of acceptance, and as we do that, the bigger sponsors, endorsements will come, just like UFC.
Showing it as an art.
business.
It's an art. It's an art.
And that these guys are not just renegades, drinking, drug addict. No, that these guys have discipline, strategy, training, and that's what I'm bringing to the table.
What's the next goal?
Well, you know what? The next goal right now is to win the World Series of Poker Player of the Year, because there's still the World Series of Poker Europe that's coming up in 2 months, and I think there's like 7 or 8 tournaments for that. So my plan is to win 3 of those tournaments out of the 8.
So you gotta go to Europe?
Yeah, I gotta go to Europe.
So when you say 3 out of the 8, you only have to play 3, or can you play 4, 5?
I could play as many as I want, but you know, my goal is to win 3, and that will lock me up for the Player of the Year.
It's a point system that they go by, yeah?
Yeah.
And where's your standings when you check last?
I think I'm 10th on the I'm
You gotta
10th on the
remember,
list.
this guy's 10th after
3 years of
out.
not doing
I
it,
mean,
right?
really, we're just getting started, bro. We're
Good
really
job,
just getting
man.
started.
We'll talk about poker in a minute. CNK now, lifetime party right here on 99.1.
Hawaii, no ko'oi.
Good morning. The World Series of Poker 2013 252X. Steve Sung hanging out with us
Guys,
in
you
the
need my
studio.
glasses so you can see the sash.
Yeah, I cannot see the bottom of the sash. So, you know, we're talking about poker is now a huge freaking sport now. It's on ESPN. How did that make it a sport? And tell us how it benefited all of you. I mean, that just took it to another level, didn't it?
You know what? When I first started, is when I saw it on TV as well, and I was thinking to myself, how is poker a sport? Right?
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't make any sense to me, and it really still doesn't. But like, what we're planning to do is we're here to revolutionize poker and legitimize it as a sport. That's why Ray here is he's actually not just coaching me on the mental and the spiritual, but also the physical.
Yeah.
So, and he's just as good of a physical trainer as he's a mental and spiritual.
Yeah,
So
I sat with him a couple of times. He told me you're getting all tense stuff. He knows when I'm getting tense stuff. I guess that's a pretty obvious one. But how do you see people when they're sitting at table? How do you know? What are the things that you look for? Hand movement. I mean,
You know
people
what?
are wearing glasses now.
It used to be I just played it, and I play poker and just try to see if they're nervous or not in the hands. But now it's just I focus on everyone's energies, and that's mainly what I do. And because I believe energy is everything. It's just
You can feel when they're stressing out. You mean, or
Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
in life too. You
Excited.
get the energy from the
Yeah.
opposite. The opposite. You end up poking her. You know what I mean? Because
that's why they call it poker.
So once you understand that,
Yeah.
I can understand why you would just focus in on just playing because, you know what I mean. I think you can. There's a definite battle. When you're sitting in a room, you know who's who's intimidated by you, who's not. You know what I mean? And when you're not focused on just on the cards, you can let that bother you easily.
What are the big signs though for a beginner poker? What do people do?
I guess a lot of the breathing. When they have a big hand, they tend to breathe more deeply,
Really?
and more quickly. Just like, it's like
Because they're ready.
I mean, it's like they're not used to seeing. They're so enthralled within the hand that they really. It's hard for them to control their emotions.
And that's the training.
Yeah.
I like to chime in as far as the sport aspect of poker. Why I now understand why it is considered a sport, and what it is that I'm bringing to the table with Steve as far as the physical training dimensions, is because you think about it, in a competitive situation, you're trying to read your opponent, whether it be boxing, MMA, basketball, you're anticipating the moves and defending, and that's what's going on. But it's so subtle, and the more refined of a poker player you become, the more subtle it is. So it's now real micro movements that you're looking for. Just slight twitches of the eye or certain, because everybody runs patterns. Everybody are creatures of habits. So what happens, it becomes, if you know what to look for, and it's not just visual looking, it's sensations that you're picking up. Because everything is energy, and that's what the whole Rage event was all about, but that's what I teach, everything is energy. And so he's bringing this aspect of the game that very few people are even aware of. And that's why it really played itself out on this final tables when he was going up against Phil Galfond. This guy is considered the #1 poker player online. He was was King Kong. And actually what made this victory so sweet is this guy Galfond, Steve, like he was nothing. Even the announcers, you guys watch?
Really?
The announcers thought he had no chance. That's what made our victory so sweet.
Yeah, that's always a bet. When you're the underdog.
Bruh,
Yeah.
when I came, that last head to head, he ended up spanking Galfon.
Really?
He embarrassed him. I mean, I guarantee he has traumas. He's probably gonna need my services. I'm telling you.
And did you have any really bad hands and you won with him?
Not really. It's just that I actually made a really incredible fold and one really incredible bluff. And
a
I think those
fold
are the key.
a fold
to
Yeah,
why
for
we-
people that
we
you
don't know
know
what is
don't
a fold.
understand
Oh, yeah.
poker.
Folding is letting your hand go. Just
Yeah.
just
Let
that's
it
another
go,
word for
wasn't
that.
good.
Yeah, just throwing it away.
It was no good. You didn't want to play.
No good. And
Yeah.
one hand I bluffed, so meaning that when I didn't have a hand, I put more chips in to make the other guy fold, and that's exactly what happened. And
Well, here's what's exciting, you guys, because in poker now we can see everyone's hands.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what makes it so different. We know what everybody's holding.
Right.
And so as a result, when we're watching people play, we get to see how they play their hands.
Yeah.
So it's very, very educational.
So do you study your opponents and look for their weaknesses as far as little movements?
yeah, as we go,
Yeah.
I see a poker tournament as a story, as a long story, and you're trying to, as you're playing, you're building the story, you're writing it, you're creating it. So that like Augie said, I believe it's an art.
Sure.
I believe it's an
yeah.
art.
Oh yeah, it's a lying art.
Yeah.
Hard to lie.
Straight up.
It's hard to lie. You think about it when
It's
you're in a
very hard
relationship
to
and
lie.
people lie, you can pick it up right away. It's just
Exactly.
by
It's
lying.
very hard.
Exactly what it is.
So you're a good liar. It's an art.
I'm going to tell you guys, I've been invited to play poker a lot of times, especially the years I used to run my company.
Uh-huh.
I never could play because I was so terrible at that.
You're lying.
I cannot get away with it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, quite frankly, I didn't
Yeah.
ever want to get away with it. I didn't want to get good at it.
Right.
And so that's why I just stayed away from it altogether. But I can appreciate it as a sport.
Of course.
It's no different like fighting
Yeah.
UFC. I'm a huge fight fan.
You got to master
You-
it.
in the ring.
Half of the battle is won outside of the
outside
ring.
before you get there, right?
Because at any moment in the ring, all it takes is one punch or one
Yeah.
kick in the head, and that's it.
But not
Done.
only that, for me it was about differentiating the difference between when you're on working, and when you're not working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in poker you're working. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your profession. So part of it is the bluff.
Yeah.
But just like if you're a fighter, UFC fighter, you go in the ring, you're there to destroy the other guy.
Yeah.
But in the when you're not working, you're not going to do that on the streets.
Right.
So just knowing that it is a sport, and then that's the important thing because then they can really get to your psyche.
Sure, of course. You got to prepare to win or lose.
More talk
That's
about
right.
poker in a minute. Don't go anywhere. It's 99.1.
Hawaii, no koroi.
Good morning.
Most fucking house.
The tongue got tied.
That's why it's better to like
99.1 Hawaii no Ko'oi, Lanai, Augie. Mahalo for joining us on this Thursday morning. Ray Johnson hanging out with us.
Dude, are we
With
doing
Steven
Motivational
Sung.
Thursday? Or
Yeah,
can we find
I'm
a way to
motivated.
make sure-
I love
Okay, let me
Motivational
tell you why.
Thursdays.
Let me tell you
I
why.
missed this.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe about 2 weeks ago, I'm in the Walmart Kunia, and this lady, she never told me her name, and I'm not doing this so that, I hype the radio show, but she honestly came up to say, Augie, I love Motivational Thursdays.
Right on.
Beautiful.
So you've been gone for a couple of weeks. So
There's some
can
great
we,
motivation stories right there.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
can we
Inspire the
find a way
people,
to
bro.
make it work so that when you're gone?
I want to continue to do this, you guys. I'm telling you, I miss it.
Right.
I miss hanging out with you guys. And that's why I'm glad I got to bring Steve and Margaret here today to see what it's like.
Because Margaret has a pretty amazing story.
Margaret
too.
has an amazing story. She was one of the first people I worked with in LA when I developed the tools that I have today to do what I do.
And now Margaret's a big TV comedian. Oh no, she's not Margaret Cho. Oh, I was wondering,
different
she looked
Margaret.
way better than Margaret Cho. Margaret Cho, I don't see any tattoos on her.
No, Margaret is an aspiring actress and model, and now she's really ready to get really serious back on the path. It was what happened was many years ago. She fell off the path and could not get back up, and she had the assistance of the best doctors, counselors, therapists, consultants. Nobody could help her.
Wow.
And thankfully, we got together. I worked with her, and today she's free and clear of all those things.
Right on.
And here's the thing, you guys, people don't understand. This can happen to anybody at any time.
And it happens all the time.
And everybody, people just don't realize how many of us have some level of anxiety, some disorders that we have, sleeplessness. It's running rampant in our society today because stress is so high.
Do you go through it? Dealing
No.
with everyone else's?
Yeah, well, I'm just way better equipped at managing all of these things. Because I've lived a very high stress life. Because think about this. One of the reasons I'm back in Hawaii, you guys, is because one of my dearest friends' dad is dying. Yeah, and he hired me and asked me if I could help save his dad's life. I mean, that's some serious business, you guys. You know, so that's why primarily I'm here. Number one reason why I came home is to help my friend Derek's father. And guess what? I just worked on him yesterday, and I'm telling you, the prognosis is good.
Right.
I believe in a power that's greater than ourselves that most of us don't ever tap into.
See, Ray's like the Pope. The last Pope had to quit because, you know.
Too much stress.
Too much stress, bro. You know what I mean? He had to resign. Who does Ray talk to? Who does Ray talk to? Because the Pope went, you know, I quit, bro. I'm going to enjoy my Pope, the rest of my Pope life. I'll have somebody else deal with the dementia, deal with the problems because I quit. So it's interesting that you asked him that because I have always wondered, like, okay, you know, as much as Ray has helped me, I get those days, you know, where like, okay, and you know, one of the easiest things that he's done for me was just kind of like, okay, maybe today never go the way I thought it would go, but just kind of like every day, just kind of count your blessings and what are you grateful for?
Because we take everything for granted.
Hard, bro.
Yeah. Where do you guys go next? What's the next poker tournament?
You know what? We're going to Jeju Islands this upcoming Sunday.
That's right below Korea, yeah. That's nice over there, huh?
Korea. Vacation spot.
Yeah. So it's a tournament?
Asian Poker Tour, APT, Korea.
Okay. How many people you play against?
This one, I'm guessing around 300 or 400 players.
300 or 400.
It's
And
a
how
smaller
long?
tournament.
How long? How many? Small. How many days? How many days till they filter everybody out? How many days does it take?
It's 3 days. It's a 3 day
days.
tournament. Yeah.
So if you're into the second day, you're pretty much half gone, or
No,
more than half?
more than like probably like 85% gone.
And anybody that you know that's in the poker world that will be playing at this tournament?
No, that's why I'm going.
And what's the purse?
First place would be I think like 250,000 US.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a small purse.
Yeah, but you got to get all those little ones and work it out, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's,
so when
it's
is
more,
it-
it's more than the purse for this one. It's actually I'm going there. It's my actually first time going to Korea.
Oh, you find your roots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you go back to the motherland and thank grandma for coming to America so I can win $1.2 million.
God rest her soul.
Actually, we raised that number, Augie.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the number, it was 1.2, and all the signs showed us 1.2, and that's how 1.2 came to be. Can you tell me what's the new number?
The new number is 5 million. The other day we're watching Breaking Bad, the brand new season of it.
Yeah.
We saw Jesse Pinkman with 2 bags of 2.5 million. So
Really? We
Yeah,
said,
it was-
oh, there it is. That's the sign we needed.
5 million.
5 million is the
And
next
that's
one.
for the